Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Crohn's Magic Corner Facebook group. Hi! I'm Rachel Arazo, your intuitive divination mentor and your intuitive coach for running your business so you can start getting consistent money every single month and start living your dream life. And this entire series this week has been amazing because I've been teaching you how to kick the stage right out so you can get that confidence in and actually start your business without having to worry about all the kinks, right? Day one, we talked about how to put on your leather jacket, how to clear out all of the issues within your practice. Well, not even just in your practice, in starting a business in general, where your confidence blocks lie, and how to get your protection on and wear your leather jacket for it. And then yesterday we talked about cutting the jargon out so that you can finally start making what your divine downloads and what your readings and all the guidance that you're getting understandable so you're prepared for the negative Nancy's in whatever you decide to do for your intuitive business. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to price your offers, because this is also a trip up. Like, you don't feel confident in your abilities because you have no clue how to price your offers, right? But I'm going to teach you how to price them so that you can attract some high vibe clients and start making money now, right? Because that's what we really want. We want you to get that consistent income. I don't want you to have an unfun job that you're going to your 9 to 5 all the damn time. I want you to be on top of your goals, and I want you to bust them in the face and get them out there, right? So let me make sure I've got sound and I've got my live stream in the right spot, because that's happened before. Let's make sure that it's all good. Da 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 da. Yep, Crohn's Magic Corner. Here we are. Yep, got sound. Hi, Kimberly. Literally just this moment caught up with yesterday's video. Wow, awesome. I've totally been there. It's just like, oh God, I want to make sure I'm ready. Because all the things are wonderful. How has everyone been doing since yesterday? What did you think of the workbook for yesterday? Because I had you figuring out how to cut all of that jargon out, right? So you're actually really confident. What did you think? Let me know as you come in. Also, if you're watching the replay, let me know that you are. Someone had asked if these will be up in the group still or if they're disappearing. If you make sure that you are a part of the Thinkific course, which is free, you just make a free account and use that login to get onto the Crohn Academy Thinkific site every time you go on. As long as you do that, you never have to worry about it. Right? Then it's going to be there. I don't plan on removing these right now, but I don't know about in the future if I will. After this today, though, I will be adding the series to the units tab so people can just go ahead and grab it. Also, I'll be adding the workbook and the live stream for today after that as well. Good afternoon, Deb. Hi. I hope you're doing fabulous. Awesome sauce. So how are you feeling so far with these past 2 days? Has it helped you clear some blocks? Are you getting what you need from this? Because when everyone said that they really wanted to, they really wanted help with their confidence issues, they were really worried about basically everything that we've been going over. But I want to make sure the content that I'm giving you is on point. How are you feeling with what you've learned so far? And I'm looking at comments. Hi, Maria. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Or if you've been loving it and you just don't want to type it out, give me hearts or thumbs up. Thank you. I'm doing better. Awesome. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are. I love this workshop. Woo! I love it too. It makes me super happy. Awesome. So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about pricing your offers so that you can meet your income goals and attract the right high vibe clients to your business, right? Because there is the reason this is important is because, again, it deals with our specific niche. The spiritual community, as we've discovered sometimes, when we come out and say, hey, I want to charge for my stuff, sometimes we'll get a backlash of people saying, I've been doing this for 20 years, or I've been doing this for X amount of time, and I've never charged because it's gifts that have been given to me, and I don't want to charge for that. I don't feel it's right. I've talked about this before in this group. If you feel that way, then this won't be the group for you, because I am a firm believer in that if you give the time, there needs to be equal energy exchange, right? Because if I'm giving and giving and giving and don't get anything back, then what happens? You get resentment, you feel guilt over the time that you've wasted, you feel mad at yourself for not doing it, and you just get really irritable about it, or you get really drained and tired. And with all of us here, a good chunk of us are empaths, or we're very sensitive to the energy around us. We don't want that to happen, because then if we're we're drained, like super low, and have zero energy to do what we want to do, then that means we don't have any self-care for ourselves. It means that we're giving things for free, and that's taking up time that could be with our families, or that could be making money in something else, right? You know what I mean? So, and there's a few perspectives that I like to give when talking about this. First off, again, I'm coming from a customer service point of view, because that's pretty much the jobs that I've done, and when I sit on the phone, I have sat on the phone with someone with their credit card, or even the last job before I did this full time was Amazon. I sat on the phone one time for 3 hours helping this man find a pair of stockings for his aunt. He couldn't find them. He was sitting in her closet, could not find the right stockings. And literally for 3 hours, we were hunting for 2 pairs of stockings. If I was not getting paid for that, I would have hung up the phone. But because it was my job and it was what I wanted to do, because I really like customer service. I like being able to help someone, have that connection with them, talk to them about what's bugging them, and fix the problem that they called in for. I like doing that. But I have a problem if I'm sitting there and I'm going in circles and nothing's going to help, right? And sometimes that happens when it comes to the business that we're in. If you're a coach, you know this. Sometimes just your client is going around in circles and they don't know. Or if you're a reader, sometimes you have people get on the phone with you and stay an extra hour. And if you're doing it for free, it eats into your time. Like, I've had plenty of times where I've had a client message me in the middle of the night asking for a reading, and I do it out of obligation. It's like, but she's hurting, but I'm losing sleep, and I've got a toddler to take care of in the morning, right? So I want you to start seeing it from that perspective. Also, if you think about it, if you were to go into a hairdresser and you were to ask them, hey, I want a haircut. I want to chop it all off. I've done that before. Go in there. I'm going to chop all of it off. There are 2 ways that this could go. Actually, 3. I'm sorry. 1, they say, okay, well, you got to pay us. And you say, well, I don't have the money. You should give it to me for free. And they laugh at you and you leave. 2, they say, you need to pay us X amount. Okay, that's fine. And you do, and you get the haircut. Or 3, you say, I want to donate my hair. And they say, okay, that's fine. And then they style it for free afterwards. Right? There's equal energy exchange that is needed. Right? I think of being in the middle of high school and learning how to balance chemical equations. If the energy is not coming in on one side well enough for the chemicals to react, then the other side is not going to do well. You need to balance it out. Equal energy exchange. And I'm very good at that. I love doing chemical reactions and stuff like that. And same thing with genetics. You need to have X chromosomes from daddy and X chromosomes from mommy in order to make a baby. And the baby could end up in any number of ways based on what you put in the Punnett square, to put it logically, right? In our sense, if we don't put enough energy into something, we're not going to get a good result afterwards. If we think of, we have this issue with magic. If you're sitting there and you want a money spell, and you say, okay, I'm putting in all the bay leaves, and I'm putting in all the cinnamon, and I got all the gold around us, and I got some glitter on here, and I have money under the thing, and you light the candle, and you do the wax reading, and it's beautiful, and it's going to happen, and then you sit on your butt and don't do anything. You don't allow anything in, and you don't put anything out. The money candle's gone to waste. It's not going to happen, right? Because you need to go outside. You need to talk to people. You need to allow some kind of energy to come into your life after you just put a bunch out. Same thing with your business for me, okay? And if that's not what you want to do, then you would need to talk to a different coach or find a group that is all about giving your services away as a gesture of goodwill. But here, I want that equal energy exchange for you because it is very draining, okay? And the same thing happens, let's say you're doing this and you are charging for your services, but you're undercharging. You still get that resentment and that anger and that guilt and that sadness. And on top of that freak out mode, because you're getting all these nasty people or these people that are freebie seekers taking advantage of you and saying you're too expensive when in reality, you're not expensive enough. Okay. And for those of you that have offers and have had a hard time selling them, bump your prices up when it comes to that, because then you're going to start attracting the right people here. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So give me likes or hearts if you have offers and you've sold them, but you feel like your prices are iffy, or if you have no clue what to do when it comes to pricing at all. Let me know. Because pricing can be tricky. Pricing can be very, it can make you worried about, am I doing too much? Am I asking too much? And if it feels that way, then you overcompensate. And that's when you do 11 extra questions for an $11 reading, like I did. Okay, lots of yeses. Okay. The thing that I want you to take away from today, and literally the workbook walks you through how to do this. I give this to my clients. This is what I have them do, and it works. They start booking their clients, and they start meeting their income goals because they're doing this. So first off, I want you to think to yourself, how much do I need to live this month? Like, how much do I need to take care of literally all of my bills? I haven't charged yet, so I'm so excited to learn. Awesome. Yes. So take all of your expenses, okay? Everything that you pay for, the rent, your electric, your water, your cell phone bill, cable bill, everything you need to live, add that up. I'm wondering if I'm charging too much since I'm not making sales. You're most likely not. But we're going to walk through and I'm going to show you how to make sure that that you aren't, right? So once you got all your expenses, and for your personal life, do the same thing for your business if you've been doing your business so far. If you haven't, then don't worry. We're going to add a little bit on to make sure that's good. Then after that, and the idea behind this, have not had any bites yet since I created a long post. That's okay. We're going to get you some bites. Once you get all of it, once you get both totals, add them up and then add 40% to it. So, for example, when I did this for me, I realized that I needed, because I wrote it out, literally opened up right to the page to it, and I don't have any markers or nothing. After I added it all up, okay, you can see right here what I needed to get, okay? And what I needed every month at the time that I did this was about $1,700, right? And then I added in what I wanted to, what other extras I needed. Okay, sometimes we do this if we play the money game and we give ourselves an allotment every day and we go spend it. and then we spend it on things that would be nice to have. Do that here too. I added in Amazon Prime. I added in getting a sitter for my daughter to come in 3 times a week to give me and my husband a break. I put in a house cleaner in order to get the house under control, because man, I don't like doing dishes, but I'll do the laundry. I don't like dishes, but I'll do the clothes. I put in any coaching that I wanted. I put in $1,000 a month for me to put aside to put into my savings, because I'm a Taurus, I'm a double Taurus, I like having my cushion, right? Put everything that you want in, add 40% to it, and that'll be your monthly income goal. For me, it's about $6,000. That was my goal. Okay? And it can be, when you see it, then you're like, ooh, sometimes you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money, but that's okay. We're going to figure out how to get you there. Now, I'm a firm believer, because after this week, you should know what your soul offers are, okay? What you love to do, what you pine to do, and what makes your heart sing, and how you can help someone else out how to do this, right? Now that you have your offers, we're going to tier them. That top offer that you put everything into, maybe you coach a bunch and you give them recordings and workbooks, or maybe it's a group program and you meet once a month and everybody gets coaching and everybody gets unlimited support through Voxer for you and all that kind of stuff. We're going to take the offer that gives you, that you are spending the most time with them in, and put the biggest price tag on that. Okay? And at first, this can be a little uncomfortable, because what if you haven't sold anything before? It's okay. If it feels uncomfortable, like that you've been stretched a little, good. If it scares you to even utter the word out loud, then bump it down a teensy bit. So for example, my highest tier program right now is the 6-month coaching for Black Friday. A few of you were interested in my 6-month coaching. That one is $5,000 before it's been knocked down for Black Friday, right? So that's my top one. So if we take that offer, then create payment plans for it. So let's say that one is a 6-month coaching plan. For $5,000 for 6 months, I'm doing math. Divided by 6. That's about $833 a month, right? But I am happy to let it go a little longer, because you want to give payment plans for coaching programs specifically here. Or let's say you have a product, like you send people monthly products. This is what you do here. For readings, it's more of like if you're doing consistent readings every month with someone, or a big deluxe package. This is what you would do if you are seeing them multiple times, okay? But I'm happy to extend that offer so that it's 8 months for like $625. At the current moment, it's going to go down for Black Friday though. So for that, then all I got to do is figure out how many people I need in order to meet my income goal that month, right? How many of these do I need to sell in order to do it? And for me, $6,000 divided by $625, that's 9, almost 10 people. Super easy. That's 10 people that I'm working with. So if I break it down even more, that'd be 5 people a week for me, because I do 5 one week, 5 the other, and then they rotate like that. So that's 10 people a month that I'm working with, and that is me booked out. That's me not doing anything else. And that's me without a website, without a landing page, any of that kind of stuff. Assuming that I don't have that, I'm just doing the numbers for it. So then, all I got to figure out then is how many people that I need to talk to after that in order to get it, right? And it's really not that many. If you need 10 people, then assume that you need to talk to more. So talk to 20 or talk to 30, and just give the invitation for it, right? Now, let's say if it's lower, not everybody here is ready for a big old package like that. Let's say your highest reading package, for example, palm readings for me, my most expensive one, not expensive, we're going to change that vocabulary because it's not expensive, it's high ticket. My highest ticket reading offer is $147 a person for my palm readings. So let's say I have a couple's palm reading, but times 2. So that's 200, hang on, make sure I do the math right. Yeah, that's $294. Okay, for a couple's palm reading. Let's say that they aren't getting extra talking to with me. This is them getting a giant PDF and I send it to them. $294 for a reading for 2 people is not that bad. And I've had this before. It's really easy to sell, especially for Valentine's Day. So let's say you want to sell that, and then your income goal, maybe you want to make $2,000 this month. 294. Oops. So 2,000 divided by 294, you need to sell 7 of them. 7 readings. Does that make it sound a little bit more manageable for you? Are you following along with me? Because then I can go ahead and talk to you through this a little bit more. Kimberly said, but I'm also shy, so I may just be hiding too much. Yeah, that's also the thing, is if you don't feel 100% confident, that can also impact it. I'm going to check the, I'm checking the comments. Let me know. Does that feel manageable? Because this can be a little hard to wrap your head around. We're selling the thing that costs the most for you, which sometimes that means you started a reading and then maybe you have a coaching session and then maybe you have a 3-month coaching package or something like that where you tier it. Or let's say you sell products. Maybe, like I'm going to use my mother as an example because she makes her tutus and she's very intuitive with it. She sells little girls' tutus because she sells them from itty bitty to beautiful for about $5, let's say for a 5-year-old. Okay, maybe then that 5-year-old has a sister and or her mother's pregnant and the mom asks her, hey, would you do a newborn tutu pack for me with a matching one for me? And let's say my mother charges $35 for that. And then maybe she has a package so that after that, she offers for 1 year to send the mother a tutu for every holiday. So one for the birthday, Halloween, Christmas, all that kind of stuff for the little one and for her. And maybe that's $100. We're tiering it like that. She wants to sell out the $100 one first. And if that's too much, offer them the little one, like the middle. And then you offer the tiny one. Give them options to work with you, because then that shows that you're willing to work with them so that you match their budget, because we don't want to break someone's bank, but we want to give the opportunity for them to see where they could level up. Does that make sense? Facebook's not giving me comments, so give me likes or hearts or a comment if that makes sense for you. And it's a little bit different of an approach, because typically when it comes to our offers, we think that we should start at the bottom, right? We start at the cheap one, because then if it's lower, then more people should buy it, right? Not really, because if you don't have offers that are stacked up like that, then everybody just thinks, oh, that's just what she's worth, or he's worth, or that's all they have. And that can drive away people that want to pay more and consider that spending $197 for a reading means more value, versus the people that see $5 like, ooh, it's just $5. Maybe she'll make it free for me. And then you're attracting the wrong group, right? The people that say they can't afford a $5 reading, aside from literally not having food and not having a place to live and stuff like that, it just means that they aren't as, that there's a disconnect with the communication there. Because it's not so much, sometimes it's that they don't value it, but it's more that it's not as important for them. Yeah, and it doesn't mean you're not important. It just means that Yeah, there's just a communication disconnection there. They don't have that urgency on why do I need this right now. They feel like, I'm just going to chill and I'm not going to buy it yet, right? But we want you to book out. So the bigger the price means the less people that you need to get to your income goal every month, and the more urgency there is, because like, oh no, there's only 8 spots, right? Something like that. And usually if it has a bigger ticket item, if it's a bigger price, then that means sometimes, especially when it comes to coaches, that you get something now, right? And or you get a sample of how things work. So for example, let's take this out of spiritual stuff and let's put this with a physical product. The Diane Company box. They send clothing to women for, I believe, $35 for the consultation fee. You do a little quiz and they pick your style, and you get a stylist specifically for you that you can let them know where you work, what you like for comfortability, things like that. They send you the box so you can try on the clothes and see if you like it. But you need to buy the individual clothes if you want it. Okay, so that's an example of having a little ticket thing for them to try, and then when they receive it, then they need to pay for the additional items or ship it back, right? And I think the cheapest thing in the box that I got was like a $70 necklace, right? And it shows the kind of quality. You can see it on the type of fabric that they have. You can see it on the type of cut that they have, because they're making a personalized experience, so they have a personalized price, right? It matches the audience that it's for. And of course, if you get the whole thing, then you get a discount and stuff. So that's an example for like products, okay, like physical things that you can touch. For services, it's more like, let's say you're a coach and someone buys a $1,000 coaching package from you. That's on the lower end, but that's a $1,000 coaching package. Then you would say, okay, until we meet, until we have our first session, I have a little homework for you. I have a little thing that I'd like you to fill out. Or I have a little workbook or a bundle I'd like to give you so you can start doing this now. Okay? We give a little bit of a service that they have to do on their own, like a DIY course or some kind of offer like that they go do. And then when they come back, now you have a starting point to get going and you're already running. It's already flowing and they've already gotten results based off of what you've given them, because that's the big thing. Now, readings, the problem with this, because I'm mentioning each area because we have people in each area, and there's a slight tweaking that you need to do for this. For readings, you can judge this a couple different ways. And of course, I'm not going to go into all of them right now, because it could be, we'll be sitting here for hours talking about all the different ways you could price something. But when it comes to your readings, a lot of the times we like to compare it to coaching, how it's like, I'm going to get the freebie opt-in from her, or I'm going to go and book a free discovery call with him and see if I actually like the way he teaches me. Things like that. The people believe that with readings, before they buy a reading, that you should give a sample, or that you should do a free live stream and things like that. I strongly urge, don't do that, because then you're giving them guidance. You are tapping into yourself for free and draining yourself in order to convince someone that you're real. The difference with coaching and doing that is you've created a product already. You've created something passive income that you don't have to worry about, right? It's something that they can do it on their own. But when it comes to psychic readings, they need to pay for your time. The only exception to this, and if you feel iffy about pricing out the gate, if you don't feel comfortable with your first offer being like a $97 reading, start doing readings in exchange for testimonials first. Get used to equal energy exchange, or make yourself a PayPal, get a paypal.me, and take donations, saying in order to have a reading, you have to give me a donation. Okay, so you can start practicing getting money, and you can see how that feels. What amount feels good for the time you put in, and what amount feels not so good for the time that you put in. Things like that. Okay. let's get this going. So what happens today? Because we've figured out what your client is, we've figured out your confidence blocks, and now we've helped clear those out, and we figured out the offers that are fantastic for you, and we've walked through a little bit of the pricing so you can start working towards it, right? The next thing, to attract the right vibe, because we've talked about the pricing part, we got to attract the right vibe, is figure out where your audience likes to hang out. Now, for some people, this means that they want to go immediately and go get some word of mouth going, and they want to do in-person stuff. You can. It's not required, but I'd like you to focus on online, because each social media platform attracts a certain kind of audience. And you can tell by interacting with the platform how it works and what kind of audience is there. So for example, my eye. For example, Tumblr is very much my age and down, or even the millennials and younger. And millennials in the good way, not the bad way. We're not going to derogatize millennials here. And the reason I say that is because they put their stories on there. It's very community based. So for example, if you go on Tumblr and you look up the tag Witchblur, you get all the magic and witchcraft that you could ever want. It's such a resource based area. People will post pictures, and they're not like selfies some of the time. About half of the time it's selfies and such, and the other half is really lifestyle photos. That's where we get our aesthetic pictures from, is from looking on Tumblr. We'll of course get GIFs and memes. It's the way that they interact, right? Versus Pinterest. This is you scrolling in the doctor's office looking for a recipe for dinner tonight, or you're looking for a blog post, and what catches your eye as you scroll through is the titles or the pretty lifestyle picture, stuff like that. This is where we see the long posts of giving how-tos on how to do something. If your audience lives there, then you can look at Pinterest analytics and see exactly the type of topics that they like and use those boards. That's what I do. My stuff is optimized for that. Instagram, usually we think of 20, 30-year-olds that use that and younger, because it's something quick and they talk through pictures. But I didn't realize also that it can be a bit older, because as a mom, I discovered this when I was, up in the middle of the night, first time mom, breastfeeding in the middle of the night. There are so many mothers that are up because they're tired and they just want to look at something. They don't want to think about dinner tomorrow, and they don't want to read a giant story. They want to look at some pretty pictures on Instagram. Or they want to look at some videos on Instagram, something that is bright, that's going to keep them awake so baby can eat, right? And they can use it with one hand. Boom, right? That's the kind of audience that's there. And then Facebook is social networking. A lot of you are coming on here, you're not expecting really to buy anything, right? You're expecting to make connections, join a group with people that are like-minded, maybe share stories, let people know that what you're up to, stuff like that. Maybe give reviews on pages and stuff. So your ideal audience, now that you know the type of person that you want to help, figure out where they live online and go extend some invitations. Make relationships with them. Talk to them. Say, hey, you sounded like you were struggling with this. Is it okay if I message you? Or, is it okay if I message you? Because all of them you can message people on. Because I want to talk to you about how I can help. If they say yes, say, hey, I'd like to invite you to work with me in this way. I'd like to invite you to a reading with me, or I'd like to invite you to coach with me, and da-da-da-da-da. Be very heartfelt about it. We aren't spamming people saying, oh my God, buy this. Or you're not going to have the fake profile of being a reader, and then you're going to friend another reader and ask them if they want readings. It makes no sense. We're not doing all that. We're extending invitations and saying, hello, you look like you were struggling. I really like the vibe of what you have going on here. Is it okay if I message you because I want to talk to you about what you're going through, see if I can be of assistance? Boom. It's up to them. If they accept the invitation, cool. If not, that's fine. It was just an invitation. Done. Be heart-centered about it. Does that make sense? Does anybody feel tripped up about what I'm talking about here? Let me know. Let me know. And by the way, walking you through all of this, it's literally in your workbook today. Okay. It's going to be in there as well. You're okay. Cool. You're on point. Hi, Latanya. I saw you come in. Hi, Deborah. I'm glad you're here too. And like I said, this can literally be used for anything. This can be used for your physical products. It can be used for your coaching. And this can also be used for your readings. You are giving some kind of service. It can be used for this as long as you're involving what you love to do and how you want to heal the world in it, and you know who needs what you offer, right? And so the thing about this, also to put it into perspective, because this whole thing is kicking the stage fright out of this. The biggest pitfall when it comes to having your confidence blocks is you don't know how to get rid of them and you don't know how to get started. And this whole series was to help you start, how to clear out those blocks, clear out the gunk, and make room for things coming in. And when you know what you need to do, when you have step-by-steps in order to get through this, in order to create these offers, and in order to figure out where your audience hangs out and what you enjoy doing, it makes all of your business more cohesive. It makes it more understandable, and it attracts the right people to you, right? Because that's all we really want. We don't want to waste anyone else's time, and we don't want to waste our time. So I really encourage you to go through and really think about all of this, because now that you have it, now that you have your offers and you know the type of support that you want to give people, or maybe you have your offers and you want to tweak them a little bit so they fit what we've talked about today, go out and do it and see what happens. Talk to people and don't get discouraged by the no's, because every no leads to a yes. Just keep going. You learn every time. We get a little bit hard on ourselves when it comes to pricing, when it comes to creating offers. We get a little mad at ourselves and we beat ourselves up a bit if nothing happens. I have had some very, very big failures of programs. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Instead of seeing it as I failed and nothing's happening, see it more as, okay, how can I learn from this? What did I learn? Did I learn the right people to talk to? Did I learn the right amount of time to work with them? Did I learn that maybe I need to up my prices a little bit? Because I would rather you up your price and then learn from the negative experiences you've had or the worries that you have and just put yourself out there than keep your prices really tiny, don't say anything, or don't start anything at all, right? Keep yourself open-minded and just get started. Kimberly says, reply to where they hang out. How in the world do we find people interested in tarot that don't already read tarot? That's a good question. I mean, I know they're out there, but probably not in tarot groups. Yeah. So that's a really good question. So for example, think of the kind of person, I just talked to, I think, Wendy about this the other day. Think of the kind of person that needs a little bit of a guiding into things, like a little bit of guiding into the world of tarot, right? Let's take our average everyday person that may be a little bit open-minded, but they don't want to jump right into the deep end of divination yet and have readings done. What are they interested in? Okay, and this will differ depending on what your audience is. Like I said yesterday, sometimes the best thing is to ask them what they're interested in, but you may notice some similarities between your clients that'll help answer this. But your average everyday person, let's say they're open-minded, because they're not quite set spiritually, we don't know what they're doing, or they're open to other spiritual paths, and maybe they have a friend who got them a really pretty crystal bracelet, or they like to go to Whole Foods and go smell the oils in the essential oil section, or they like paying attention to what they put in their body because they want to be healthy. Like maybe they go to the gym and they want to make sure that their body is healthy, right? And then on top of that, what if they start getting into crystals, or they go to these kinds of places and then they see tarot cards and they understand, you give kind of information on, okay, this is how we transition into this. Crystals are wonderful with this, and this is how they correspond to a tarot card. Or this is an essential oil that is really wonderful, and you know how I like to pair, what I like to pair this with? A reading. Because then my body gets the spiritual nurturing that it needs, and then so does my spiritual body, right? Things like that, and then that helps them go into it. This is what freebies and blog posts and live streams and all this kind of stuff is for. You're helping them to see a different perspective, right? So to give another example, on my YouTube channel, I have a couple videos for tarot and texts. I didn't add all the ones that I still have, but I have them there. And my idea was to go through and give a book review on whatever I was reading at the time, no matter the genre. And I would say, what do I think this book corresponds to what tarot card? And I would explain my reasoning. So like I did Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I read them for the first time. Never read them before, but I read them. And I corresponded Harry to the Page of Wands, because he gave this vibe for me that he was going to blow up and he was just going to be a douche. He didn't get that way. I'm glad he didn't. But in that particular book, that's what I got the vibe for. And I talked about how fiery and passionate he is. That's a very Gryffindor kind of element for me, is fire, stuff like that. So I talked about that, and then that gives somebody who's read the book an opportunity to think, oh, I want to learn more about what that Page of Wands is. What are you talking about there? And that gives them the introduction to the rest of the tarot videos on my channel. Right? Does that make sense, Kimberly? So because I know that you're with your art, what specifically do you work on? Because I know you do readings, and I know you're a wonderful artist. What specifically do you like to do based off of what we were talking about this week? What's your soul's mission? And anybody else, pop what your soul mission is, what you really want to help people figure out, the part of what makes your heart sing, pretty much. Pop that in the comments, and I'm going to walk you through how to do this. Because, for example, I can think of a few places where the kind of people that would be open-minded this would hang out. They would hang out in the essential oils groups. Maybe I specifically have a group for bullet journaling with essential oils, so everybody can organize their journals with their essential oils, what they've bought. There are some people in there that might be interested in tarot. Or meditation groups, because they're already open to other energies and really stilling their mind. Tarot can be used as another meditative way to do this. Or angel messages. Angel readers and oracle readers would do wonderful in groups about angel readers. The most signups I ever got for a single freebie was in a law of attraction group. Because I asked them, hey, it's Mercury retrograde. I've got a guide on how you can survive it. Who wants to grab it? 66 people joined, all to grab this book. And it was for Mercury retrograde, and they were wondering how that meshed with the law of attraction and how they can still manifest things that they want while in a retrograde period. Boom. We know they're open to astrology. Maybe they're open to a reading. You know what I mean? Kimberly says, I honestly just want to give readings. I'm trying to think of courses and things just because I'm told to. I don't want to teach tarot because I want to read for people. Okay. You don't have to do courses if that's not what you want to do. Or if you You don't have to create a course to teach tarot or any other type of thing. Think about the kind of readings you love to do and make a course for someone to do in order to help them. So for example, I will suggest my How to Have a Empowering, a Mindful Empowering Day challenge. It's a free challenge to those that I work with, like on readings and things, because it would mesh what I'm talking to them about in a reading. A majority of the time, they lack self-care. So that teaches you how to meditate. That teaches you how to have a yummy breakfast with something that you love. A little bit of food mindfulness, stuff like that. And it's really easy. That would be a great mini course, right? So think about the problems that your reading clients consistently have. And you can say, hey, if you want to continue when we're not working together, because I like to recommend X amount of time between readings, I have a little $27 course that I think you would enjoy that would help you work on the things that we talked about today. Boom, right? Oh, that's okay, LaTanya. Definitely come back and ask me questions if you have them. Does that make sense, Kimberly? So, like, let's say that you love giving crossroads readings to people that have a hard time deciding which job that they want to take. Perhaps you offer a little mini course or a little spreadsheet or a bundle or something saying, hey, this is to help you figure out where you want to be. And it's some journal prompts that I want you to go through, because when you go through those, that's going to help you figure out what you want inside, and that'll help you figure out where you want to be. And then, because we talked about this on the reading, this will be perfect for you to continue doing after we're done working together. You know what I mean? Hi, Lynn. I'm popping in and out here. We'll have to watch again. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be here. What do you think, Kimberly? Let me know. Yeah, because then if you just want to do readings, then really stack the amount of content that you give for a reading. Kimberly, my favorite readings to give feel more like psychotherapy sessions, but any picking of topics feels too boxed in. I'm not a licensed therapist. That's okay. So perhaps then you would work on, it sounds like you like shadow work and really uncovering blocks to help them reach a conclusion, right? It helps them figure out the solution and you're just guiding them. So perhaps you would be a psychosis guide. And perhaps for a VIP day, you'd sit down, like if we make that your top offer, you'd sit down for 4 hours with a 30-minute break in the middle. And first you would do a reading extensively over where you are now. And then when you come back to it, you talk them through, okay, where are you feeling blocked? And you really like to give them. They like to figure out help people figure out what makes them tick. Okay, so why not do that? You could make a little course that's really passive income for that. You know, the things that you commonly tell people and how you can help to motivate them, put that into a course. Or put that into a little guide that you sell for like $17, you know? That's only like a couple pages. It's things like that, where really break down how you could expand it out. It's the same thing for like on Etsy. A lot of readers like to put their reading up and do it by spread and show the spread and stuff. People don't really care about that. They want to care, are you going to fix my problem? So you put one problem with one listing. And let's say there's a similar problem in the same category. So first, what's my soulmate? Another one with the same spread would be, is he ever coming back? Another one is, how can I make my marriage better? Another one, will we ever have children? All of them are within love, pretty much. Or how can I build up intimacy in my relationship again? Stuff like that. It's the same spread, but we want to separate it in order to make it more specific. The same thing here, we want to separate it, but in terms of how the support that you give them. you know? So maybe their family motivates them. You can do a little mini course on how you can help your family to motivate you more. Or maybe their job motivates them. Little mini course on how their job can continue to motivate them and help out the rest of their life. Or maybe their religion or their spiritual practice is what motivates them. You give little categories with that way the right person goes to the right spot, you know, and then it can help them fix their life and help them be happier and high vibe and just feeling like they're flowing. And then that's when they want to come back because they're like, wow, this was really great. And you really care because that's what you love to do. Does that make sense? This is a wonderful, I'm glad that you meant that you asked because I like working this out. Kimberly says, I don't think I've done this with enough individual clients to be able to create a guide that would be useful to people in general, which is why I want to focus on just readings for now. Perhaps I need to understand more about packages. Okay, so that's a very good point. What if you don't have enough people in order to make little mini courses yet? So then create reading packages based off of what you like to do here. So maybe perhaps you have a nice little introductory one card reading for like, let's say $27. And then maybe for your middle offer, you have a 30-minute reading with you for like, not 30-minute, 30-minute for like 97, right? And maybe it's live over Zoom, and as a way to walk away from it, like the first time, maybe like it's an email PDF where it's been written up. Maybe the middle one is like on Zoom or some kind of live platform where you record it and they get the recording. And then maybe the big one is like a 2-hour reading where you break down, you cover 3 subjects, like 3 questions, and you talk live over Zoom and they still get the recording, but maybe also afterwards they get a list of recommended crystals, or they get a list of recommended essential oils, or a list of acupressure points that can help them release some stress, things like that. You know, you are giving more of a service each level that you go up. Does that make sense for packages? Because that big package, that's where we want people to buy, because that's going to be your biggest one. And that one's going to sell, that one's going to cost the most, and we want that to book out first because that guarantees your income. But the other ones are filler. Like, let's say you want a vacation, or let's say that you need some extra money this month for any kind of reason that you want. Then you would focus on the other 2. Actually, you would focus on the middle and then the little. But the big one is what we want to sell out. Whoop! Rebecca just got the spreadsheet. Woo! You're awesome, Rebecca. Does that make sense, Kimberly? Okay, is Etsy the wrong place for these packages? You can put them on Etsy. You absolutely can. They just need to be 3 separate listings. Right? But what I like best about doing it this method and thinking of it like this is because if you just have a PayPal with a button, and you have a place to go ask your audience about it. Hi, Rebecca. Then you don't need a marketplace. Then you don't need Etsy. You don't need a website. You don't need a landing page. None of that kind of stuff. All you need to know is what do they get from your offer, Like, what result are they getting from it? And a way to copy and paste the link. They don't need anything else. And you can make money this way. You don't need anything else. This helps simplify it. But if you want to put it on Etsy, you absolutely can. You totally can. But you got to think of the marketplace for Etsy. Sometimes the higher end stuff does not sell on its own, so you'd have to give someone, hey, here's the listing for it with a full description of what I'm talking about. Go ahead and buy it through here. And you can funnel in your own traffic like that. That's what I used to do for Etsy. It was never, not never, it was majority of the time, it was me talking to people, making a relationship and saying, hey, I have a reading for that, and give them the Etsy listing. Sometimes people would find me and it would be organic traffic, but majority of the time it would be me going to go introduce. I just did add PayPal buttons to my site. Awesome. I know, you got the timesheet bundle, I saw. Let me know how it goes. We're just going over offers today and how to price them. Kimberly said, I did just add PayPal buttons to my site. Good, use those. And don't worry about your website. Don't send them to your website to go buy. Literally copy and paste the link to that PayPal right into wherever you're talking to them from. Yeah, it's very topic based on Etsy. It's very, also, it's a boutique. Your store is meant to be a boutique. If someone were to go into the mall of Etsy, they would go into your shop like it's a physical store. That's how come the way that it's set up, it needs to be very, it can't be as personable as it would be if you were to reach out with a message, and Etsy doesn't like you messaging people because that can be really spammy. So we want to, I'm just introducing another way to help you do that, but it could lead to sales for your Etsy store if you want to use an Etsy link instead of your PayPal. It just gives you less fees for PayPal. That's a wonderful question, though. Where would I be talking to them from? Nope, you're fine. So the goal here, now that we know what your offers are, that we're working through what your offers are, we know the kind of person that you want to help and the kind of reading that you want to do. Now we need to figure out where your audience hangs out. Okay? And when you figure out where they hang out, then you can make relationships. You can talk to them and say, hey, I'd like to invite you to a reading with me because I feel like this would really help you do X, Y, and Z. That's what we're doing. You would figure out where you talk to them on. And that's going to differ on the platforms, the type of audience that hangs out where. And what they expect from things, right? And you're not dense. Don't worry about it. It's good. It helps me reiterate what we're talking about anyway. And it helps me make sure that I'm being clear. Does that make sense? I'll give it a second. Kimmy says, okay, so once I work out my package descriptions, I can find the right audience. Exactly. Because when you figure out what's in it for them, it's not the descriptions for this is for 30 minutes. You're going to get a summary, and it's 5 cards. That's not what we're doing. It's, for example, this is going to help you stop feeling so conflicted about your job, figure out which one is the best one for you, and the next steps you can take to secure it. When they leave the reading, that's what we want to tell them is going to happen, right? That's what we want to help them figure out so they leave the reading satisfied. They don't care about features, they care about the result. So put in the description the result. Yes! Chimes! Ding, 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 ding! Do it! Awesome! So that's what we want to do. And because we know what the result of the package is going to be, now you know the kind of person that needs it. Obviously, it's the person that has the opposite of what that has, right? It's a person that has no clue what job that they need, so they're going to buy that package to help figure that out. Yeah. I love aha moments. I adore it. So, and that's also why for this challenge, not this challenge, this series, I said that if you want to work out your workbook and you're having issues, be sure to post in the group using the hashtags for each day so I know which day you're talking about. So like today is hashtag stage fright 3. So if you do that, it organizes it in the group so then people can type in that hashtag and find it easily. So if you have issues figuring out what your offers are, how we can price and everything so you can go make money now, post in the group. Because then that way everybody can learn from what's happening, everyone can help you, and I can help you. Don't send it to my inbox because then it'll just be between me and you. Let's make sure everybody can learn. Absolutely. No problem, Kimberly. She says, I'm so process over product oriented, so I need to work through that. That's okay. That's totally fine. I'm more than happy to help you. So to help with this, like what is the next steps after you figure out your offers and you figure out your audience and you want to start making money immediately? Your next step is to go invite people. Go start doing it. And let's say that you need some help with that, with a couple different ways to do that. So in the group, I asked a couple weeks ago, just to make sure that I have it still, because I want to get the exact things. I asked people what they would want for Black Friday, right? I asked you what you want for Black Friday from me because I want to still help you. And there were 3 really big ones that people were interested in that you wanted help with. So first, it was how to create sellable offers on Etsy, right? Because I'm fantastic at Etsy. I know how Etsy works. Etsio is super easy for me for Etsy. And like I said, I've run 3 really successful shops for it. So selling psychic offers on there is very easy for me. So I have a bundle that I'm going to be doing for Black Friday that I have the waiting list for. So for those that are interested in Etsy, the bundle is right there. The waiting list is. So you can go do that. And then another really popular one was working with me for your stage presence, because we kicked the stage fright. Now we need to get your stage presence under control so that you can get consistent offers, right? Message me individually or set up a discovery call if you want to work with me on that, because I've already got it. We're just going to knock down the price for you. I already have it. And that's 6 months working with me where we get really clear on your confidence blocks. We clear them out together so you can start making money for your business. And then the last one was the VIP session. People were interested in how they can start their psychic business in 90 days and how you can do that literally right now, right? So that one's all ready. It's available. You can grab it and book a time with me, because what we're going to be doing is getting crystal clear on your offers. I'm going to teach you my system for filling out your calendar. We're going to get you a marketing funnel, all that kind of stuff without a website, without all the hassle. And we're going to do it in one day. And it's going to be really easy so that you can go off and go do it. It's intensive, but that is available. So you can take a look at both right now. Besides that, I really love everything everyone has done for this series. You're really working through some blocks. I really appreciate it because it can be so hard to break through everything. It can be so difficult to actually work through this and to figure out what is blocking me. Why am I not able to start this business already? I need the money and to get out of that desperation zone. So I really commend everybody that is working their butt off to clear these blocks and create these offers and figure out what you love to do. Because from here on, it's just up. And because we're in the middle of our busy season, there is still time for you to start making money on your offers. Just go do it. Go do it. Let me know what you did. Go tell me what you did and how much you've made, and if you are feeling high flying. You know what I mean? That's okay, Kimberly. Go ahead. Because we're wrapping up anyway. If you have questions, seriously, message me, not message me, but post them in the comments below or put them here in the group. Okay? I hope everyone has a fantabulous day. Again, use the hashtags if you have any questions about the specific content for the days. And I shall be seeing you soon. Bye!